Another historian kind of spells pessimistically what's going to happen to the United States. He looked through the millenniums, and he said democracies can only last for 200 years, then they just sputter out. How long have we been in existence? Yep. The historian also had these levels where they are, where they first get organized, you have a lot of patriotism. Eventually, you take a good life. After you have a good life, you kind of get complacent. After complacency, you kind of ignore it, and then you ignore threats, and then finally, it's the end of the... Sir, you had a question?
Yeah, I'd like to point out, we don't have a democracy. We are a democratic republic. There's a big difference between the two. Democracies do sputter out.
Thank you. All right, about Islam and terrorism, I'm going to go through some of these slides a little bit faster. People always say you've got to say that not all Muslims are terrorists, and it's true. I mean, it's 1.4 billion Muslims on this planet. They say, don't worry, there's only about 10% that are radicalized. That's a lot. That's a huge number. That's like almost the number of people we have in the United States. The number is deceptive. When we talk about radicalized, we talk about they want to do bad things to crusaders and Jews. What about the other 90%? Do they want to live in peace with us? Well, not necessarily. They wait for the other guys to blow themselves up, but when you talk to them, they say, well, I wouldn't mind Sharia law in the United States. I mean, when you interview people, a certain percentage of Muslims say, I'd like to see Sharia law here in the United States. They'd like to see the flag of Islam over the White House. Since 9/11, about 9,000 terrorist attacks have taken place. Most of you are desensitized to it. You hear it so often, it becomes second nature. Maybe people will wake up when you have pickup trucks with 50 cal machine guns in the back going through your neighborhoods and shooting it up. Maybe that'll start an activity. But we have to act before we get to that stage. Robert Spencer is an excellent author. He wrote Stealth Jihad, and he has a definition of jihad here. And it just basically tells you that, you know, if you're not with them, you're against them. And if you're against them, then guess what? You're not going to be around very much. Now, through the centuries, they have allowed Christians and Jews to live, but they're called dhimmi status, which means subservient or slave type of situation. And this has been very clearly defined in our nation's history. After we declared independence, 1776, we fought the Brits for about 8 years. Then we had our own country. Before George Washington became president, we had problems with Muslims. The Barbary pirates. They started attacking our shipping because Great Britain stopped paying tribute. In those days, the European countries would not fight the Barbary pirates because it was cheaper to give them tribute than it was to build ships to go attack them. So our guys tried to negotiate. You know, something like some people these days. You know, all they have to do is show up and they'll listen. Well, in this case, we had Jefferson and John Adams in England, and they met with the head Muslim guy and said, look, we're a young country. I'm sure we can negotiate something, and you know, you stop attacking our ships because you know we're good and we want to have good relations with you. And the main Muslim guy says, stop. You Christians only have 3 choices: convert, die, or become slaves. So in the Barbary pirates, and of course this isn't taught in history, 0. My son just had U.S. history, 0. About Barbary pirates. We fought Barbary pirates for 55 years. Thomas Jefferson sent the whole flotilla to Barbary pirates, built ships, showed Europe what to do. This is where the Marine Corps formed, because when you have the song from the halls of Montezuma, the shores of Tripoli, Tripoli is Barbary pirates.